The planet Vathros was an unforgiving wasteland, a scarred reminder of the brutal wars fought between alien races for its precious resources. For Cale Drayven, human mercenary, it was just another mission, hired by the coalition of free worlds to infiltrate the sprawling underground citadel of the Skelorians, a cruel and technologically advanced alien race. Cale thought he knew what he was walking into. He was wrong. His mission was simple: rescue the human children captured during the latest Skelorian raids on outlying colonies. These children, barely teenagers, had been sold as slaves and were being forced to mine for the rare mineral Vathite, crucial for interstellar travel. What Cale didn't know was that the children had changed. Cale approached the Citadel, its massive obsidian towers stabbing into the sky like black spears. The wastelands echoed with silence as his stealth ship descended. He landed far from the main entrance, choosing instead to traverse the rocky terrain to avoid detection by Skelorian scouts. As he moved closer, his comms crackled. A woman's voice came through. "Cale, do you copy?" "Yeah, I'm here, Shia. Ready to breach." "Be careful," she warned. "We've picked up strange energy signatures around the Citadel. Something's not right." Cale didn't respond. He was already too focused on the mission, moving silently through the shadows. His eyes scanned the landscape, enhanced by cybernetic implants. No guards. Odd. He reached a ventilation shaft and slipped inside, using his grappling hook to descend deep into the Citadel's labyrinthine underbelly. The air grew colder, heavier, as if something was watching him. As he descended further, faint whispers seemed to echo in the distance. Finally, he reached the lower levels. According to his intel, the children were kept in these barracks. The halls were empty, but as he approached the cells, his sensors picked up life forms. Human signatures, all concentrated in a single chamber. When he reached the door, he found it unlocked. Suspicious. Cale entered the room cautiously, his hand hovering over his pulse rifle. Inside, a group of children, no more than 12 or 13 years old, huddled together. Their faces were pale, their eyes dull. But when they saw him, something flickered in their gaze. "Cale Drayven," one of them said. It wasn't a question. Cale froze. He hadn't introduced himself. "How do you know my name?" The boy who spoke stepped forward. His name was Eric, according to the files. "We've been waiting for you." Something about the way Eric said it sent a chill down Cale's spine. "We need to get you out of here," Cale said, trying to regain control of the situation. "I've got a ship nearby." The children exchanged glances, but none of them moved. Eric stepped closer, his eyes now glowing faintly with a strange green light. "Do you even know what they've done to us?" His voice had an eerie calm to it. Cale tightened his grip on the rifle. "They enslaved you, made you work in the mines. I'm here to stop that." Eric laughed, a hollow sound that echoed unnaturally in the small room. "The Skelorians did more than enslave us. They tried to control us, use their technology to mold us into weapons. But they made a mistake. They made us stronger." Another child, a girl named Lena, spoke up. "We're not the same as before. They tried to break our minds, but they opened something inside us." Cale's instincts screamed at him to leave. "What do you mean? What did they do to you?" Eric's eyes flared brighter. "They gave us powers they couldn't understand. Abilities to manipulate reality itself. We're not their slaves anymore. We're something else." Suddenly, the air in the room shimmered. The walls seemed to bend, distort. Cale felt a pressure in his skull, as if the atmosphere itself was trying to crush him. His cybernetics started glitching, flickering in and out. He stumbled back, his vision swimming. Lena smiled coldly. "You thought you were here to rescue us? You're here because we allowed it." Cale's mind raced. The energy signature Shia had warned him about, the strange whispers, everything clicked into place. These weren't ordinary children anymore. The Skelorian experiments had awakened something within them, something terrifying. He raised his rifle, but before he could pull the trigger, Eric's hand shot out, and Cale was thrown against the wall by an unseen force. His body was pinned, unable to move. The pressure on his mind intensified, like invisible claws digging into his consciousness. "We don't want to be rescued," Eric said, his voice soft but filled with a terrifying certainty. "We don't need your help. We need to finish what the Skelorians started. Cale struggled to breathe. What are you going to do? Lena stepped forward, her eyes glowing with the same eerie light. We're going to free ourselves, not just from the Skelorians, from everyone. We're the future now. With a flick of her wrist, Cale was released from the invisible grip. He collapsed to the floor, gasping for air. He scrambled to his feet, backing toward the door. His mind raced with thoughts of escape, but he knew he wouldn't make it far. These children, no, these beings, were far beyond anything he'd encountered before. Go back to your people, Eric said, his voice echoing in Cale's mind without speaking aloud. Tell them the age of humans, of Skelorians, of all the old empires is over. We are the new rulers, and soon they will all kneel. Cale didn't need to be told twice. He stumbled out of the chamber, the children's cold, glowing eyes following him. As he raced back through the tunnels and out into the wasteland, one thing was clear. The most dangerous force in the galaxy wasn't the Skelorians or any alien race. It was the children, and they were just getting started.